Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 14th, Valentine's Day, reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin the meditation and the reading, I want to thank each and every one of you for your healing wishes, your healing energy, for your kind comments as I went through and suffered a concussion. I'm still healing from it. I slipped, I fell, I banged my head, and it was something I thought I could just walk off. I didn't think it was going to be a big thing at all, but it most definitely was. So thank you all for your healing energy. It is so amazing to have this community, to have you guys. It's just overwhelming. It really is. So I want to thank you tremendously. All right. So now, with that being said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Let's wipe away the wand dust. There we go. And let us start with our root. We also have a bit of a different setup here, so let me know what you think of it. So, Taurus, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2022. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Hierophant, which is us coming through. That's us in the major arcana. We're represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana, Taurus. We're represented by the Hierophant in the major arcana. And then we have Judgment. We have the rising of us into who it is that we are, what it is that we truly want. We're really stepping into ourselves during this time, which makes perfect sense. We are, as Taurians, we are so much more sensitive, so much more emotionally connected than people give us credit for. They see a stoicism when they see a Taurus. But if you really look at a Taurian, you will see something so much deeper, as we know by being Taurus, right? By being a Taurian. And so here we're really embracing this day, because this day, the energy around it, whether, we believe in Valentine's Day or not, it is about love. It's about the connection of the heart. It is the thing marked on calendars. And so here, when we look at it, we're automatically reminded about love. We're reminded about, connection. Now, whether that's for us a romantic partnership, whether it's not, whether it's being married for 30 years, whether it's just starting off in a relationship, it doesn't matter. What we're talking about here is how the heart and how our passion, how what we desire will affect us. And we're going to be a bit more sensitive to that than others. So just being mindful of that is going to be something that's very empowering. It moves us then to our inner self. And we have the 5 of coins. So the 5 of coins is a poverty mentality. We have experienced most likely lack around love in one way or another. And then we have the high priestess. We're looking at things far more deeply than we have before, far more openly and honestly and authentically, like saying what it is that I truly want, what it is that I truly desire. And it brings us then to this energy of the heart, which for us is the 4 of cups. There's a gift coming in. It won't feel necessarily like a gift. We can be disappointed with the energy that's around us, or with the way that we thought our life would progress and where we are right now. It doesn't matter what we're disappointed in. It's what Spirit is saying to us, is that we're looking at things in the wrong light. We're not seeing a gift that's coming forward. And it can be a gift that at this moment is actually more work being put on the table for us. We're not able to, express this day the way that we want to, or express our love the way that we want to. We might be busy with work and with kids, or with school, or with whatever is taking up the majority of our time during this time. And we need to acknowledge that, because it brings us to the Lovers. This is Gemini energy. Now, if we're born on the cusp with Gemini, the heart is going to be very, very powerful during this time. But we're also going to be looking at the way that we express love, and needing to express love, and needing to say what it is that we truly need, want, and desire within our hearts, within our souls, for ourselves. Because this is a time where we're looking at what we need, not what society says we should need, not what we think we should be desiring, but what our heart is saying. I need this at this time. And if it's to be alone and quiet, then it's to be alone and quiet. If it's to be in the middle of everything, then yes, embrace that as well. But we're going to need to look at ourselves in a way that we're not really told to when it comes to love. In the books, in the movies, in the way society sells love, it's all about the eros. It's all about the erotic love. But that's one phase of love. And it's a phase that we kind of get out of rather quickly. When you first fall in love, the dopamine levels in our mind, in our brain, in ourselves, increase. And that's for the first 6 months. That's why people talk about, the new stage of love, the wonderful newness of love, because the dopamine levels increase so much. And then they start to go down after that 6 months. And so we could look to find another way to increase that high again, to feel that good. And that's why people love falling in love, right? And we can almost feel addicted to that new relationship rush. And this is going to be a time where we're looking at what makes me happy, what connects with me, and what guides me forward. And where is that sense of pleasure that comes within my life? Not always chasing the erotic, but saying this is the beautiful. This is the powerful. This is the familial love, the agape love that, Jesus died on the cross for, that love of all humanity, a way to explain it. But there's this power that we are going to be embracing during this time, and it moves us to our public arena self, and that is the Lovers once again, and the 2 of Wands. This new way of embracing love and passion and desire, and saying this is what I want, need, and long for within my life. New roads opening up to us, a world opening up to us that we might have not thought could be ours. And it doesn't mean that we need to do a drastic change, or that we need to do really anything at all. It's just a simple stepping into and being present with who we are and what our hearts and our minds and our souls deeply need, deeply desire as we're moving forward. It moves us to the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And it's the star. Oh, goodness, you can't see that. There we go. It's the star, and that's Aquarius energy. Now, the star is what we wish for. We have to be mindful of what we wish for. We can have these grandiose ideas of love. Again, the Hallmark card, what has been sold to us, and saying this is what love is. And then as we experience love for ourselves, as we embrace what love actually becomes, we can see it to be quite different. And so here, as we're looking at what life is and what we've wished for, we have to let ourselves embrace what it is that we truly want. Now, we could want more romance, most definitely. We can want more to things, yes. But we mustn't get caught up in the fantasy of it all, because it will be very easy during this time, especially with our romantic nature, to walk down that path and to embrace that path full-heartedly. So just being aware of that is going to be very, very important for us. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And we have two right here. We have abundance and forgiveness, which is really quite beautiful. So abundance is the root chakra, it's the root of us, and forgiveness is at our heart chakra. To embrace the abundance of love that we want within our lives, we need to forgive. And that's where we have the poverty mentality coming in. There's something here. There's some, hiccup that we've hit along our way when it comes to love. It could be a divorce. It could be, a parent didn't love us the way that we needed as a child. It could be, a myriad of things, experiencing loss at a young age and looking at things and knowing cognitively that maybe, this wasn't our fault, that we don't need to forgive anybody about any of this. But knowing that emotionally, we've taken these on as scars. And I need to forgive. I need to look. I need to see. One of the wonderful exercises I love to do whenever forgiveness comes up is to look at the moments in our lives where we've had a pivotal moment, where we felt like, okay, I could go this road or that road. And forgive ourselves for not being able to walk down both, for not being able to be everything all the time to everyone, especially to ourselves. This is where we're going to be able to let in abundance, because it's the surrender of sacrifice, of suffering, and saying, I walk a road that is powerful, and I've made mistakes, and I forgive, whether it makes sense or not, but to be able to open our hearts and to see that depth of love that the universe, the world has for us, that agape love, and be able to feel worthy of it, to be able to say, I'm taking it in, I'm embracing it. That's life-changing. I mean, that really is. And that brings an abundance and a richness and a power that will start to affect every single aspect of our lives and of ourselves. And it moves us to who it is that we truly are. It moves us to the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is so beautiful because in medieval times, the most powerful person in the medieval world, it wasn't the emperor, it wasn't the empress, it was the Hierophant. The Hierophant was the Pope, and the Pope told kings, queens, emperors, empresses what to do. And this is a time where we are seeing that power within ourselves, that power that unlocks the key, that power of saying, this is my tradition, not my dogma, not, the way that I need to live because of these rules that maybe I agree with, maybe I don't. But it's saying here, I'm opening the door to seeing the structure, to seeing the beauty, to seeing the compassion I need within my life. I'm opening the door to fully embracing who I am, my heart, my soul, and what I desire for my existence. And it brings us to this place of triumph. It brings us to this place of resurrection. It brings us to this place of beauty. It's like, this is who I am. This is what I desire. And this is how I'm rising to a newer, better, more beautiful me. And as we do this, we're going to find ourselves coming out of, a darkness, coming out of a hurt, a pain, a disappointment, and stepping into who it is we truly are and what it is that we truly want. And so when we talk about love during this time, we're talking about the energy of the heart that is around us, the energy of love and connection. And we're seeing what is being sold to us, and we're seeing what it is that we might think we should want. And we're seeing who it is that we truly are. And we're saying, there's so much more here. There's so much more here than I ever expected. And it brings us to looking at where things have fallen apart, where we feel out in the cold, where we feel like, I can't. And it might be that we think, I can never have love within my life. It never works out. But maybe we've been chasing the wrong type of love. Maybe the love that we need to embrace first is the love of being present within our own self, which sounds so new agey, kind of annoying. But if I can be present within me, if I can look at me and love me, forgive my pains and my disappointments, forgive the scars and the hurts, see who it is that I am and embrace that heart. And know that I am worthy of standing amongst kings, of being able to tell kings what to do, being able to truly embrace that Taurian energy of the Hierophant. Then I can see what I want and I can let the wealth come in. I'm shattering a poverty mentality. It doesn't matter if we've been divorced or had failed relationships or, never been able to find that love that we read about or watch in movies. The high priestess is having the veil lifted from our eyes. And it's saying what we are sold isn't necessarily something that is lasting. We're sold the continuous erotic love. And though that is beautiful, it is not sustainable. Love goes through phases, just as the moon, just as the seasons, just as our lives themselves. And we need to respect those phases. And so as we look at the veil being lifted, we look at ourselves more openly and more honestly. We look at the gifts of abundance and prosperity that are a natural part of who we are, and we start to call them forward. It brings us to our hearts, to gifts that we hadn't seen before, to passion that we hadn't known to acknowledge. And it brings us to a sense of, okay, I'm embracing this. I'm embracing a new way of moving forward, of being present within my existence, of understanding who it is that I am and what it is that I want, of opening that door. And as I open that door, the gift might not seem like a gift, but it's bringing the love forward in a way that I didn't think possible, that I didn't know could be a part of me. And as that love comes forward, again, our angels bless us. Again, we have this connection of sacred masculine, sacred feminine awakening coming forward. Looking at who we are, looking at what we desire, looking at what we want from our world and for ourselves. And as we embrace the lovers, as we embrace the duality within our hearts, as we embrace the transformation that love brings us and the transformation that love is in and of itself, it brings us to the lovers once again. And it says love, harmony, union, like a mantra around us. The love is in the harmony, is in the balance of the union. It's in the balance of the sacred masculine, sacred feminine aspects of ourselves. It's in the balance of what we love and what we wish for and who it is that we are. And as we have that balance come forward, we start to look at the Two of Wands. And here it says plans and partnership and influence. What is bringing us forward? How are we looking at the world around us? What do we desire, want, need? How are we embracing, discovering, exploring? We're going to see our hearts leading us in a direction that we might have thought, well, that's not what love is. But maybe it's the exact love that we need. Maybe it's a more spiritual love. Maybe it's a love that comes through meditation and quiet. Maybe it's a love that comes through walking in nature. Maybe it's a love that comes through being with our children, our grandchildren, and embracing laughter just for the silliness of laughter and joy for the beauty of joy. We're being called to be present in our lives because our life is a present, which again sounds cheesy, but it's so real and it has so much meaning to it that at first we laugh at it because, of course, no, it's coming forward in this acknowledgement of who we are and what we love and what we want. And it's embracing the heart in a way, Taurus, that we might not think is practical or we might not think is, exactly what is needed. And yet we're going to find that it's exactly what we've been yearning for so long. And it's looking at the structure of things and saying, this order, this way that you said it should be, this rigidity of life and existence, I reject it. I reject it as I find me. I reject it as I step forward. It brings us to our subconscious rooted energy. And that is the hermit. That is taking the stars in the sky, the wishes that we have, right? And it's illuminating our path. It's one thing at a time. It's not all at once. It's not all consuming, all empowering. It is the illumination that comes within the moment. And it's the turning inward and saying, what is the dream that I am seeing here and now, that I am embracing here and now? It's also Virgo energy, of course. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, and that is the Tower. The Five of Pentacles, the Tower. Something is changing. A poverty mentality, a hurt, a pain, a disappointment, a chaos, a destruction. It's falling apart. We've been pushed out of our comfort zones, And we might say, of course I've been pushed out of my comfort zone. I had XYZ happen to me. This is saying it happened. Sometimes, okay, so I have a hard time saying it happened for a reason, because sometimes astoundingly traumatic things cannot be reasoned away. But I am building stronger and better than ever before. I'm seeing who I am with more openness and more honesty. And I'm looking at what I desire, and I'm not being held back. And that's the energy that we are embracing here. It is the energy that divinity has thrown us out of our comfort zone. And it was sink or it was swim. And we decided to swim. And we might be so tired at this moment. But we are embracing our prosperity, our abundance, and our power. And there is nothing, and there is no one that gets to deny us anymore. Meaning that we are seeing ourselves as worth it. It brings us to our subconscious emotional energy. And that's the death card, Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is our sister sign. So subconsciously, the heart is testing us. Our sister sign, just like sisters, can be the greatest loves, the greatest joys in our lives, the people who make us feel fantastic. And they can also be the people that absolutely drive us up and down the Mississippi crazy, you know? So here, it's looking at that, and it's seeing the transformation. It's also seeing the transformation in the way spirit, divinity is guiding us. White dogs with red ears are fey dogs, right? In Welsh tradition. And these are what the Llewellyn tarot deck is based off of, Welsh tradition. And so we're being guided by spirit to see what others do not see, to sense what others cannot sense, to be able to move forward in transformation, in understanding, the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. It is not something that we might necessarily enjoy, but it is something that is empowering, emboldening, and deeply personal for us as we step into who it is that we are and where it is that we need to be. And we might mourn the way that our life has changed, but there is power here in that change, and there's power here within us. It moves us to our subconscious, public arena self, and that is the High Priestess. Here it says, secrets and dreams and wisdom, inner voice and spiritual world. And that's what we're starting to connect with. It's our inner self, and now it is the subconscious that drives our public self. So we have the High Priestess coming through twice. It's also the second card in the major arcana. And also, in early decks of the tarot, the High Priestess was called the female pope. Now, whether you believe in Pope Joan or not is irrelevant. But what we have here is this powerful understanding of the sacred feminine aspect of the Pope coming forward. The sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, of who it is that we are, of what it is that we desire, of how it is that we're moving forward. The veil is lifted. We are seeing. And we are seeing what once was very plain to us when we were very small. And we're starting to come back to who it is that we were, what it is that we wanted, and our true joys and beauty within life and discovery. This Valentine's Day, as we embrace our hearts, as we look at the world, we start to see ourselves in a way that takes our breath away, in a way that has us falling in love with us again. And that is the most magnificent of any gift. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Prince of Pentacles. It's being mindful of words that aren't spoken. It's being mindful of lies surrounded by money, of love corrupted. Our subconscious chakra energy is psychic development, the third eye chakra, which is what the singing bowl is set to, third eye. Here, we're going to see our intuition growing. We're going to find ourselves understanding ourselves more and more, connecting with ourselves more and more. And there is a beauty here. There's an intensity here. And it's time that we embrace it. It's time that we see ourselves. It's time that we acknowledge what it is that we truly want. And we embrace the instincts that come with it. All right, Taurus, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of of our hearts and of the energy of love that surrounds this day. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus, and may you have a blessed Valentine's Day.